All right, so welcome back to the stream. Tonight we are going to be looking at recreating Party Next Door's pad sounds along with creating a All right, so yeah, okay, we're back. So that inspiration is going to be from a recent track I've been looking at, and we're going to build that out. So I'm going to call that pad pretty much our chaos pad, our chaos bell. So let's dive right in. Let's make the sound. Let's do it. All right. Let's jump right in. So, welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to be building out our PND pad and chaos bell. So we're going to build that emotional core into this session and this sound design session we have today. And we're going to start off with just our basic sounds. Yeah, so let's dive right in. Let's do it. So we're going to start off with two oscillators, and we're going to create that PND sound, Party Next Door. And we're going to duplicate our oscillator. So it's going to look something like this. We'll send that into a mix. We're just going to try to quickly build out just the basics of the sound, just the raw sound. So all these concepts apply to any sound design you're trying to do, whether that's in Reaktor or any other software where you're creating and designing sounds from scratch. So I'm going to turn up our volume. Going to hit a key. Oh, we need some gate control, so we can actually play with our keys. And I do hear a sound now. That's good. So we're going to do two detuned saws with a low pass filter and some LFO movement to bring some subtle pitch drift to our sound. So we're going to start off and just start off by saying welcome back to the stream, and it's going to be hybrid. So with building out this pad, we need width, we need movement, we need emotion. Nothing too complicated, just warm detuned saws and an LFO to bring some life into the filter. So I've got our two pads, our two oscillators here, and they're feeding in. I'm just going to turn them into saw waves. That's our oscillator, our first oscillator. And our second oscillator looks like this. We're going to turn it into a saw as well. We can go ahead and we can name them so that we know which one is which. That's really important when you're going along and building out sounds, so you don't get lost when you're tuning your sounds, because that's the whole point of this. So is to tune our sounds. So we're going to make this into a saw wave. I'm also going to decrease the sustain and turn up the volume. Hopefully you can hear that. Let me just double check that you can hear. Yeah, we can. Okay, so we're good. So next thing we're gonna add our LFO. That's gonna give some low frequency oscillator movement. Think of it as like if you're doing some kind of side chain with your kick and your bass. This is providing a frequency so that we can add movement. It's similar to that, but not exactly the same. So I know that PND pads never really sit still. That's the whole OVO vibe. It feels kind of unstable in a beautiful way, or however you want to say it. So we're going to create that LFO, and we're going to make it so that it makes it feel live, and the pad never stays still. it's gently drifting, like they're sighing, kind of. So let's do that. So bring the LFO. Turn up the frequency knob, the filter knob, and we're gonna bring in some reverb on top of that, so that we can add that movement, add that atmosphere. Okay, let's do some reverb. And yeah, so we're adding in the reverb. Okay, we got our basic sound. We're gonna make this this filter move a little bit. So I'm actually gonna detach that from the. Oops. Where's our LFO? So we're gonna actually attach that to our filter. And add some slight movement. Okay, so we can add some pitch movement as well in our oscillator. Just subtle movement. I'm going to increase the rate on the first LFO. So we'll name it again so we know which one's which. Just very simple. LFO and LFO2. Increase the speed. Okay, so there's our first sound. So we're going to go ahead and save it. So we got our first sound. And let's do a little recording. Let's do a little sequence. Okay, we're trying to get that perfect loop. Got our pad going. So we got our pad. Let's do our second sound. So that's going to be a bell sound. So we're going to create a bell sound out of this. Let's go back in. Got our first idea. I'm going to build out a bell. So we're going to call this the Chaos Bell. And the Chaos track, it uses a metallic, modern, transit heavy tones. So we're going to grab an FM oscillator to do this and keep it punchy. So that requires me changing so let's change to this oscillator. Let's just look for FM. I think I already have one in mind. Yeah, I'm going to use this one, the duality. So let's send that out. I'm going to swap it for the first oscillator. This might seem confusing for someone that's a beginner, but really I want you to understand the concept and and the sound. So the sound that I'm creating. So we're going to reconnect our mod source to mod A. And let's see. Let's build a bell out of this. Just going to hit arm record. That sounds just interesting. This is why I use Reaktor in the first place, because it gives me those realistic sounds that I can't get from other software. It's really pure, really clean sounding oscillators and tones. So, yeah. I'm going to pause that. Oops. To make a bell out of this, what we're going to do that is we're going to adjust our decay and sustain. There we go. Let's make a chord out of this. Yeah. So I changed my mind. I'm going to make a chord out of this. Let's go. Okay, let's do F minor. We're just going to type them in. That's loud. Sorry about that. Okay, we'll do the next one. And then we'll do B flat minor 7. Just pulling some chords that you typically hear in a PND song. Oops. And then we'll do another one. Let's test it out. Okay, so I'm going to take that. Oops, where'd it go? Okay. I'm going to export it to a track. Just a chord tool. You can use any chord tool of your choice. We'll play it from the track itself. And I'm going to actually go ahead and bring this up here. And we can pitch it down. Go back into capping chords, add some other layer here. I'm going to change the sound. Okay, we're going to apply that. Okay. Let's see if we can bring back that bell. Okay. Okay, we captured that. See how it works out. Let's change this up a little bit. Okay, took a little sculpting, a little bit of refining our sounds, but I think we got a bell sound we can use. So we're gonna go ahead and save it, and let's add a little bit of a loop on top just to get the idea across. And yeah, so I'm gonna mute that part. Let's add that hi-hat, because I think that'll give us the freight feel. Those wide open drums. Adding some drums now. Oh, that's a little loud. Okay, let's get that in. Let's get those drums in place. I want them there. I want the bounce to be a little bit different. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Try it again. So we can go ahead and repeat that pattern. Add some syncopation in there. Let's go with this. It's a little bit loud. Just some little click before we hit that snare, I think. Huh. Let's check it out. Bring that snare. Or rim shot. Let's see. Ah, it's loud. We're just going to layer the snare a little bit. I want it to have a little more punch. This is another element of sound design that I incorporate sometimes into my productions. And let's see. Let's see how that works out. I don't know if this will fit the vibe, but we'll see. See it in context. I want these drums to be together. I'm gonna group them. And I think we can add some compression, because they're not coming through the way I wanted them to. So that means the drum bus. This section. Oh crap. Let's bring this one down. Some up. There we go. I don't know. Okay, so now, hopefully hopefully you learned something this session. We're just gonna add a little bit of limiting, and we're gonna call it a day. We took two sounds, we made a lead or a chord progression, and we made a bell sound, or a pad and a bell sound using sound design concepts. Hopefully you learned something this session. Let me know what you'd like to see in the next live stream. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next live stream.